Cool. Woo, got it. Got it. Woo. Oh! So David, one of my pet peeves about FMA, sparring, is you always see the guys looking like this. All right, so I'm gonna go.
So you mean to tell me that when I'm sparring, I'm not supposed to look like a caveman trying to hit somebody over the head?
By today's standards, you would think that. You would think that's what FMA is, right?
That's all I see in the videos.
You know, they're just like we just did. Is, you know, standing in one spot, barely moving, trying to hit each other and get lucky with one shot, right? It's not actual sword fighting. So what I want to do today is go through a few things I do with my students to get them to flow better in sparring and not just look like idiots, right? Look like actual swordsmen, right? And move behind their strikes with intent. So what I do with my students is we'll start with method 5, right? Angle attacks or 5 attacks, right? Then I'll insert into the next one is the 4-wall, Cuatro Cantos. And then we go back to 5 attacks. Then we go into Sungkete, and then we go back to 5 attacks, and it repeats. So there's more methods that we can insert, but we're just going to do those 3. Well, actually, we're going to do 4 because within the Sungkete drill, there is some payong, right? Some payong stuff there too, to flow back and forth. So you'll get a little bit of taste of those 4 methods with this drill that we put through. And it starts off standing still, right? We'll start off regular, just right here, with our feet in place, getting the students used to that. So now you can, if you want, you can. There. Sorry about that. We had to put our eyewear on.
Safety first. First, last, and always.
It always happens. They don't have their eyewear on. Somebody gets hit to the face, and it's just a bad day. Right? It's relatively safe. What we do is relatively safe, okay? But
accidents happen.
Something does happen.
Accidents happen.
So we start off with our 5 attacks, right in place. Like, we don't even really have to move, right? Maybe a little bit of movement. Oh, sorry, 5 attacks.
I thought we were going straight.
5 attacks, and then I'll insert a Cuatro Cantos, or the 4-wall. So we do 5 attacks, back to 5 attacks, 4-wall, right? And then we can switch it up to where 5 attacks and he does it. Back to 5 attacks, right? And again, we're relatively little bit of footwork. Getting your students used to making that contact at speed, right? So let's add in Sungkete. So we'll do 5 attacks, nice and slow. 4-wall, 5 attacks. Sungkete. Back into 5 attacks.
So real quick, when it comes to plugging this in, right? So we train Doce Methodos, right? Which means 12 methods. So in reality, right, no matter what drill you're working on, you can kind of plug that into this, right?
Absolutely, 100%.
Okay.
And then if you training with the right partner, and you go slow enough in the beginning, they can recognize, right, pattern recognition, which attack you're going to be doing, right? So let's just say we did the 5 attacks, right? And then I come here, and I start to enter, right? Then we go into dock up, right? And then what I want to emphasize too is, once you get comfortable, right? We do 5 attacks, right? And payong, 4-wall. It doesn't have to stick just to that same pattern every time, or same contact. I could start 5 attacks, right? Not even make contact, then come into here, 5 attacks, right? And not even finish that same
Okay.
that one of that drills, and you both recognize that, right? Especially if I back out, right? Say I did the 4-wall, right? And then I back out, and then I come back again, 5 attacks, right? Sungkete here, and then back to 5 attacks, right? It doesn't matter. You recognize where that blade is, and you keep moving. Right?
So one of the points that you just made, and I feel like it's really important, and it bears repeating, is you obviously have the pattern recognition, especially once you start getting into this and all that kind of stuff. But the most important point, I think, that especially a lot of FMA is missing right now is the movement, right? I mean, yeah, you start off static, right? Because you have to build the technique, you have to build the foundation. But like as soon as you can, like you're moving, right?
Right. Yep. And that it begins to look a lot different from what we're doing just right here, and it changes your placements and your movements as far as your weapon. Let's go, delve into the 4-wall a little bit more. So 4-wall, the 4-wall drill per se is an attack from a high, low, right? And what kind of a pet peeve of mine is when you see some people do the 4-wall. If I'm attacking, I'll attack here, right? Which I'm not attacking anything, right? You want to make it realistic for your partner. I'm actually tracking the head, right? So he has to step out and step behind the blade. Same thing for the legs. When I attack the legs, I'm not just hitting right here where there's no threat to the legs, right? From here, I got to actually go for the legs. So he's got to get behind it for the head and then for the other legs, right? What's good about this drill, if he wanted, he could speed up his timing and make me do the 4-wall. So like if I did the 1 here, right? And then right, I gotta hurry up and do it, right? So anybody can be the attacker on this part, right? It's just what you do, right? Right? And again, we want to make sure that we're getting for the head, getting for the legs, head, legs, right? And again, if your partner wants, he can speed up the drill, right? And I have to be the one on the back end of it. From there, back to the 5 attacks. And we don't have to match or touch sticks each time on the 5 attacks. Preferably, you don't even want to hit sticks on a 1 anytime, really. Why is one reason why you don't want to do that? Give me one reason why you wouldn't want to touch sticks.
Because every time our sticks touch, you know exactly where I'm at.
100%. This gives you your distance. He knows what range I am, right? Is if I do this, he's not sure. Am I close? Did I pull it? And how close am I, right? And it doesn't indicate timing. Like you when we do a 5 attacks, 1, 2, 3, 4, right? But if we don't have that audible notification, it's a little bit harder. And that's when you see that when people start to do 5 attacks without making contact, they get off time, right? They'll be here, right? And But if you can do it without making contact or make contact every now and then.
Well, one of the interesting things is like just now, real time, right? When we started moving a little bit, there was a second where I stepped in a little bit, but then you stepped in as well. And in my mind, like I didn't quite know where you were at. Right. So if we would have made that weapon-to-weapon contact, I'd have known exactly where you were at. We could artificially maybe kind of maintain that range. But when you start pulling that weapon, like even though, however long I've been doing this, I don't know where you're at. So that makes me have to like recalibrate and try to figure out, it's
a deceptive.
Yes,
it's a deception.
100%.
It's part of deception to engage your target. Our focus is the hand, obviously, the weapon, but our peripheral is everything in the core. That gives us our real distance because he can mimic from here to here when he's swinging. That distance changes from here to here, right? Where the core is actually where I am at, right? From here, because I could do this, and hit you, right? But I can do this and not hit you. But my core lets you know exactly how close I am to you, right? As you train, you'll get to the skill level of knowing exactly without looking, right? Just from here, we can tell how close we are, right? And then I get closer, he backs out, right? And that's another part of the drill that I do with the students is have them go in and out without making contact. So let's delve into more of the payong or the Sungkete part of this drill. Sungkete is crossing center line is slash thrust, right? So I'm crossing center line and then thrusting. What I want to do, not necessarily, we don't want to make contact if we don't have to, right? In the beginning, we do that to give an audible notification where we're at, right? But if I'm doing it and I see he can make contact, I'll pull it, right? Mm-hmm. So he goes, right? I'll pull it so he can't make contact. My blade stops just past center line. The tip should be angled toward his face, toward his elbow, toward his hand, anywhere here to where it beats the timing on his re-engagement, right? So it would be there or here, right? How does he counter that? For this drill, he counters with a forewall. So I'll do this counter and he forewalls it, hits it here, which sets him up in a perfect position for a thrust, which I have to now do a payong, right? Let's do it again. So we'll go here, and I payong over the head. We go back to the one. I do it on the other side. He forewalls. I payong on this two side, and go back to 5 attacks, right? It looks different when we get more dynamic. To get used to it, we can start off just standing still and just get this movement, right? In reality, would I stay right here while that's coming at me? No. Or would he stay right there if I'm thrusting, if he recognizes my slash thrust? Mm-hmm. So do the slash thrust toward me, right? Mm-hmm. Right? I would be backing out to here, right? And to make it a little more dynamic, if he's engaging hard, so at distance, right? And he comes in, does a slash thrust, right? I'm backing out and not letting that get close to me. Once he stops center line, I know I should recognize I'm behind time, right?
And again, that's 2 points that have just been brought up that we've said before. And again, I point these out because they're important. If you're not thinking about it, you're not getting it. But you have the aspect of pattern recognition, talking about as soon as you see that. But then you also have the aspect of dynamic movement, which should be, if you're in a real fight, it doesn't matter if it's FMA, it doesn't matter if it's Muay Thai, it doesn't matter what you're doing. If you're in a real fight, you should be moving. Not this.
Yep, you're moving or dying.
You should be moving. Yeah.
100%.
100%.
Strike attacks. I'm going to do it to you. There you go. 5 attacks. So, stationary 5 attacks. 5 attacks. Then it can get dynamic.